Hi everyone, welcome to YarnADelaide Knits episode 15. My name's Nicole. I'm coming to you from Adelaide, the northeastern suburbs of Adelaide in South Australia. What's today? Thursday. It's early mid-afternoonish, and we had some nice spring weather the last couple of days, but it's turned a bit dismal. It's been a bit rainy this morning and a bit overcast this afternoon. The sun did come out for a couple of minutes, but it's not there at the moment. It's all a bit cloudy and a bit overcast. I've been banished to my bedroom again. The boys are home from school today, as it is it's not a student-free day. It is Silas's was a school closure day, and I guess Ligy's I think is a student-free day or another school closure day. And then tomorrow they get the day off to go to the Royal Adelaide show, because that's on this week and next week. But we're not going this year. I've kind of, as I've said before, I've lost interest in it. I'm a bit over the same old being there, and all interstate based, shall we say. So let's get on with the show. Today I've got I actually don't have any finished objects to show you. The finished object that I had, I gifted on Sunday, because it was Father's Day on Sunday here in Australia. So I don't even have those to show you. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm KolGirl74, and you will see a photo of that on Instagram or on my project pages on Ravelry, which I am KolGirl. Or even in the Ravelry groups. I've shared it in the Ravelry, our YarnADelaide Knits Adelaide. YarnADelaide Knits Ravelry group. Saying Ravelry too many times gets your tongue tied. And I even struggled saying that. It's on there, so you can all see there. And you did see the progress of them in last episode as well. And I think even in the last episode, I think you saw the progress in the last episode. Although I do have finished mitered squares, that's still a work in progress. So I have some works in progress. I've got a new work in progress as well, and I've got a follow up on Take Charge of My Stash, and a little bit of good news. And I've been in the dye pot again, and I've got a little bit more information to tell you about that too. So there's progress. And some knit-alongs that I've joined in to let you guys know something that you guys might be interested in with other podcasters and other Ravelry groups, because they're always fun, they're always interesting to do, and there's just a little bit of incentive and motivation if you're sort of feeling a bit something that you've wanted to start but you haven't started and you keep procrastinating. So there's one in particular that I've procrastinated on and commented about, but haven't actually put it on the needles yet, so it will give me a little bit more incentive to do so. So, so let's go, I guess, because I don't officially have a finished object to show you. I'll start with the whips. And I've got more to tell you about the knit-along in my group that we're doing. So, my work in progress. I've still been keen on the Cozy Memories blanket. So this was, I haven't done quite as many as last time, but I've done a few. It's getting quite big. It's getting ginormous. It's not quite at the width that I want it yet. My mitered squares are 30 stitches by 30 stitches, so they're a little bit bigger than, I guess, the average. And I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wide, and I think it's 10 deep as well. So I end up sort of doing it in an L shape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yeah, 10. So it's 10 by 10 at the moment, and I think it only needs to be maybe a couple more squares wider, and probably about 4 squares longer. So when I spoke to you last, that was the last mitered square that I'd done, and that was from Nina and Give Me a Crown. And then I did this one you guys haven't seen, that's why I've got the sort of stitch markers to tell me where I'm up to. So again, that was from Nina as well, and Give Me a Crown podcast. That is Stranded in Aussie sock in the monkey socks that I'm doing, and that is Moseley Park. I can't remember the name of the colour, but it's my Melisandre socks that I still haven't finished. So I did that one, and then start on this end. I think that was just a navy in Bendigo. That's a Modavera sock yarn. That's a Bendigo Luxury in a green. I can't remember exactly what the green colour's called. Forest, yes it is Forest. This is a Modavera yarn. Is it Modavera? Yes it is. It's not their sock yarn, it's something that I got a few years ago. But I'm happy that I finally dug it out. And this is, again, geez, I've got a lot of cheap Spotlight yarn. This is a Modavera baby yarn that I knitted Scarlet a Sunnyside cardigan in, and it was about a 1-year-old size that I knitted her. It would have been last winter that I knitted it, and I washed it in the machine, and I thought it was machine washable, and it felted a little. And being that she was a small 1-year-old, it still fit her, but she never really wore it a hell of a lot, but still something to remember her by. Again, it's part of her line. This is some Colette Jitterbug that I got from Stranded in Oz down at her Port Fisherman's Wharf market. Excuse my nails, they're a little bit stained from dyeing yesterday. And yeah, and that is, that's the grey that I used for my Huhi shawl from Yohi. I think I've pronounced it right. My Argentinian is outrageous. And this is the cash cotton that I knitted my Hedefude cardigan in. And this doesn't have a ball band, but I have a feeling it's either Opal or it's Regia sock yarn. So yeah, I did a few, but not heaps. Other things have taken my interest, and rescanning dyed yarn has been taking up my time as well. So yeah. But as always, you're happy with your progress. And usually when I sit down and knit it, I like to do one a night. And if I don't get it finished, I end up having it by my bedside table. So when I wake up in the morning, I finish it off while Scarlett has her bottle next. She wakes up and then has her morning bottle next to me while we lie in bed and watch a little bit of TV. And I have my morning coffee before I get out of bed. So yeah. And I almost finished my my monkey socks. I'm just down to the toe shaping. Yeah, so I'm basically almost there. Started the toe shaping, so I've almost finished. So I'll finally have another pair of socks. So that didn't go into my... I'm a bit light on with taking charge of my stash this month with finishing objects. And I really don't know why. That's almost done. That was Stranded in Oz, the Aussie sock. Let's 2 more. And then I've made some progress, and I've got a bit more information to give you this time because I found the ball band of my Christmas socks. Which, yeah. So I've turned the heel on that one. And this is just a basic vanilla sock. I've done a 72 stitch cast on. I did a 1x1 twisted rib. Probably get a good look at that there. And a basic stockinette stitch. I'm doing a magic loop on 2.25 Knit Pros Symphony needles. I did the heel turn. I just followed because I just finished the Skype socks. I ended up just looking back at the heel shaping and the heel turn on that, as they were a 72 stitch. I chose to do the 72 because they were for my father-in-law for Christmas. I mean, not for Christmas, for Father's Day. And yes, so I just went back to that because it was a pattern that was close by. So yeah, I'm making progress on that one. And the yarn is the Lana Grossa. Can you see it? Yeah, that makes a bit. What's it called? Yeah, my German's no good either. Milouette? Yeah, it's my Lana Grossa. You can see that. And it's good. What is in English is Fun and Stripes. It's 80% new wool, 20% polyamide. Yeah. That was a yarn that my friend gave me before she moved back to New Zealand, so I'm glad that I'm using it. And then my new cast on, now that we've had some spring weather and winter has finally broken, even though we're having a crappy wintry day, although it's not that cold. It's cool, but we've hit the 20s for temperature wise during the day. Don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. Don't you double it or double it in a bit? I'd say it'd be in the 60s or 70s Fahrenheit. But I'm not sure. You'll have to get a converter out on your phone and see what it says. But yeah, I've started I'll get the picture out to show you. Yeah, I had this urge to make a jumper, and I didn't want anything that was just basically something that you could chuck on and keep warm, that was nice and you felt good in it. Nothing that was too oversized but still was quite comfortable. And I chose to do the Balsam Ridge by Melissa Shashwari. I think it's Dandelion Girl. And that's it there. I remember seeing a picture. I think I follow her on Instagram and I see her on Facebook, and I saw a picture of it in a cream and I really liked it. And she had a sale a couple of months ago and they were 50% off, so I got this one and a little girl's top. I can't remember what that's called, something magpie somehow, if I remember rightly. So yeah, it's knitting around, and it's got a bit of lace detail. Sorry for the creases, but you can get a little bit of look at the detail there. And the yarn I am using, now I did say that, is Debbie Bliss's Cotton Angora. It's a discontinued yarn that I have had in my stash for a few years. I've tried knitting it a couple of times, various things that never progressed further than one ball, and this is how far I have got. It looks quite brown in the picture, but it's a real maroon. Maroon? Yeah, maroon purple. But I'm in a bit of a conundrum with it. The sizing for me isn't, what is it? It's designed to have a 2 to 3 inch positive ease, but the measurements, I'm in between the 42.25 or the 47.75 inch bust. I'm a 44. So being that this is, and it is knit in 100% wool, so my thinking behind it is cotton doesn't have a memory. Cotton will grow on you, and I'm thinking Angora, not that I've knitted with it a hell of a lot or had what I have knitted for a long time to know how much it does grow on you, but it seems quite a relaxed yarn fibre that I don't think has much of a memory like wool does, doesn't have that plume and that bounce. So I'm thinking they're both going to grow. So I decided to go with the 42.25 inch size and allow the cotton, the yarn to do the rest of the ease of it. Because yes, I'm a big girl, and there is a fine line that I find with what I make for myself that will be, there's a fine line between it looking like a moo-moo as something, a big oversized bag, or something that has a little bit of shape and gives me a womanly figure, shall we say, without it looking like a bag or a tent on you. So that's where, and a lot of women, not so much women or people, let's generalise it, people of my size will go for a bigger size every time because they just want something comfortable, and it ends up looking like a tent on them. So they need to, you end up kind of needing to go for the slightly smaller size. It still gives you room, but it gives you a shape, if that makes sense. So that's my theory of going for the smaller size and allowing the yarn to do its easing. So yeah, I haven't done a tension square, and again, my theory behind that as well was something that on the What YarnADelaide podcast, she was talking about ease and swatching and what have you. And yes, doing a swatch is good, but it's not going to tell you how the yarn is going to react with when it's in a garment and how it's going to give and drape and all that sort of thing. So after I finish the first repeat, I'm going to measure it and see how it goes for gauge. And if it's slightly bigger than what the gauge is recommended, that's all good, because I've still got that couple of inches up my sleeve of the right sizing that I want to make. Because there's always that concern when you make jumpers and cardigans, or the concern that I have for a person of my size is that it all looks well and good on an ideal figured person, but when in real life it's not going to be the way that you envisaged. And that's a risk that we all take, I guess, when we do our own hand knitted garments. And sometimes when you do stuff from the top down, that is great because you get to try on and you can envisage how it's going to go. And with the cardigan that I knit last year, that was great because I got to try it on as I go because it was top down and the way it was constructed. And just with the different techniques of that, I was really happy with the size that I did, and even the yarn, because it was 100% wool, it still has that bounce back quality to it. So yeah, this I'm hopeful, but I'm treading carefully with it. And if it doesn't work out, I might try something else. Being that it's worsted weight, that can be a little bit of a struggle. But then I do have some 8-ply, some DK jumper quantities in my stash that I could probably just do perhaps even the next size up and then see what kind of gauge that gives to sizing as well, and sort of rework it that way. So yeah, that's everything for my my works in progress. Yeah, that's been keeping me interested. The cozy memories are always a good fallback on, and a couple of socks, and once I get the monkey socks I'll be able to cast on another pair for the Christmas gift giving. So I suppose that will lead me into a take charge of my stash and an acquisition that wasn't intended, because I might make a solemn promise while I'm on here until, yeah. So, okay, with my take charge of my stash, which is something that the Little Yellow Ute podcast, Zena from the Little Yellow Ute podcast, is doing. It's a year long, so I've been doing it since January. I think I started probably in February, but I was able to look back on what I'd done on Ravelry to see how much was incoming to outgoing and what have you. So today I was 3.6 kilos of stash out, 3.605 kilos. And then the Skype socks were 75 grams, and I'd done 12 squares of the Cozy Memories, and I've guesstimated them about 6 grams, so that is 72 grams. So it takes my stash out total to 3.752 kilos. And my stash in at the guild had their AGM on Saturday, and we had a bit of a trading table there. I've got a little bit more to tell you about that too. And someone was, and so where you could take some destash or that you wanted to get rid of, and or sell some hand knitted garments and that sort of thing. Someone was getting rid of their Zuba balls. One's only 60 grams and this one's a full skein, so I picked them up. I couldn't leave them there, especially at the price that they were, so I was very happy with that. And yes, those little things that you find at the guild are awesome. And someone decided that, yeah, that's how this one is going to knit up. Come on now, can you see that? You can see it sort of there, how it goes in very gradiented from the cream to the beige to the brown to the black. So yeah, I'm really stoked with that. This one's only 60 grams. I've just weighed it just before I started, so I don't know whether I will maybe do. I've never done a contrasting toes, heel and cuff, so maybe I might get some bright, ridiculous colour to contrast to this, and they'll be really different. So yeah, so then, okay, so my stash in this year is 3.8 kilos plus my 160 grams, which leaves me 3.960. So I'm still in the negative by about, what is it, roughly around 200 grams, I think. Yeah, just over 200 grams, but 208 grams. So, but I vow not to buy any yarn until the Black Friday sales, which will give me, when are they? They're at the end of October or something, aren't they? And then, only because I sort of want to check out what Knit Picks has to offer. I've always wanted to try their sock yarn. What's it called? That everybody raves about and then whinges about the colour changing. Their self-striping one. I want to get a heap of that, and that usually goes out at ridiculously cheap prices. So I might try and get a few of them. But yeah, other than that, I really need to take charge of my stash. Pull the reins in a bit. So yeah, and then so a little bit of guild news. We had our AGM at the beginning last Saturday. I'm still the vice president. The president's still the president. I think there was only a couple of members committee members that wanted to leave, and it looks like we've been able to replace those, which has been awesome, and looks like, you know, we've got some fresh eyes, minds, enthusiasm. It'll be kind of looking forward into the next year and to see. I think we're going to have a bit of a membership drive and try and bring in new blood and regenerate the guild, and and concentrate on, I guess, listening to the members and what they want, and encouraging new members to join, which we've had a bit of an influx of some new members over the last couple of months, which has been awesome. So yeah, it'll be interesting with that and see how we go with that sort of thing. Which kind of leads me into me being in the dye pot. I guess I'm officially a yarn seller. I'm officially an indie dyer. Being at the trading table at the guild on Saturday, I thought, well, I'll take what yarn I've dyed up and price it and make up ball bands and that sort of thing, or skein bands, and put it out there, see what happens. If you don't try, you don't know. And I was really stoked. I sold 10 skeins, and it was mostly all of my sock yarn, bar two balls of the same colour. So I was really stoked. I was really apprehensive, because I had the MCN, and then superwash and nylon sock yarn. And I was a bit worried about the price point of the MCN, thinking, oh, they might balk at that, but they took it. I was really stoked. So yeah, so it's given me a sort of a bit of a newfound energy and a bit more inspiration as to what people want as well. So I've been in the dye pot again, and yeah, I will show you what I have done. Now, I'm not sure. So yeah, these are the ball bands that I've made. See, Colour Girl Collective, Adelaide, Australia, and then that's this is the organic fingering, which I have named Pride fingering. And the reason why I named it Pride, I wanted something that because I'm quite patriotic to a lot of buying Australian, finding things that are produced in Australia and that sort of thing, because ultimately it is securing jobs for the future with your kids. So yeah, not that they might not be sheep farmers, but you know, it's helping that industry stay alive, so for generations to come. So that's why I've named the organic fingering merino Pride, as in it gives me great pride that I can showcase an Australian yarn, and it's an organic yarn as well. So yeah, something about sustaining for our future. So yeah, that's what I've called this one, and this one is a green that you haven't seen, and I named it Mint Julep. It's nice. Yeah, nice tonal. You can see the tonal variation, which I'm pretty stoked at, because I don't think you've seen that one. And then this one. Now, then I've got the Sustainable New Merino, which is 19.5 micron of Aussie Australian Merino, and I've called that Outback. It's the 8-ply, so it's the double knit. Outback being that in the outback, when you're out in the desert, it gets very cold at night, so you want something a little bit heavier and a little bit warmer. So yeah, I don't think, did you see that one? I can't remember. This, I think you might have, because, yeah, I think you have, because I think I did show you this one. Yes, yeah, I have shown you this one because I was talking about steaming, because this is how it's steamed, and then the colour that dripped into the bottom of the water that was steaming, it coloured the water, so I couldn't let that dye go to waste, so I plonked a skein in there, and that's what came out of it, which I really like as well. So, you've seen that one. So then I did this one. This one I've steam dyed again. And what have I called? And when I was doing it, we had a couple of nice days, and the yellow was really talking to me, and there was a kookaburra on the telephone lines outside here that was talking to me while I was outside rescanning and cleaning up, and so I called it time for spring. So it's got a bit of sort of a light apricot tan, the yellow going into some green, and quite muted. So yeah, and that's in the Outback 8-ply. I've got 2 skeins of that. That's the other Clearing Sky, I call that. Seen that one. And then these 2 don't have a name yet. What I dyed up a couple of days ago. Now this is on a new sock base, which is, I don't know what it is. It's a wool nylon base. It's not merino nylon. I can't remember. But I did some speckling. Let's move on to the colour of it, and I'll get back to you on what the composition of it is. So I put a heap of different colours into this, and I'm really stoked how apricot and orange, it came out with lots of speckles. My speckles worked this time, which I'm really stoked with. So there's 2 skeins of that. And this one, compared to my other sock yarn, is it? I know that one is. I'll get one that you've already seen, and that way it won't distract you from the colour when I'm trying to explain what I'm trying to explain. I think you saw this one last month. This one is my original sock yarn, which I've named Drover, being that drovers work hard on their feet or on their riding. Look into the camera. Riding, what is it? Riding on horseback all day, working hard, in boots all day, so something to do with their feet. So this is why I called it Drover. And it is a little bit more, what's the word? All that comes to me is, doesn't plume as much as this one does. This one plumes quite nicely. And yeah, this one plumes quite nicely and is a little bit more luxurious, should I say. And then this one's a little bit, it's not a tighter spin, but it's different. It's a bit more rope-like. So yeah, but which now sort of, it's been playing on my mind a lot. I wonder if this one wears better than this one on the feet. It'll be interesting to see how they go. Time will tell. But yeah, so I showed you that one, and this one is in the Drover sock, which is the more tightest one. And this one, now my theory behind this, my old Border Collie died in December last year. Her name was Mindy, and she was a tricoloured Border Collie. She was black and white mostly, but her grandfather was a tricolour, so it was 3-colour border collie. So she had a bit of brown, and her bit of brown was a little bit of brown around her eyes, and a little bit of brown in between her back legs. So, and at Christmas time, we used to wrap her collar and our other old dog that passed away a few years ago now in tinsel. And she used to be bright pink cerise colour tinsel, and Jesse, the other dog, he had red tinsel because he was a black Kelpie cross shepherd, and he was like jet black, that real black that doesn't throw any red or blue or anything. He was jet black, and he looked pretty spunky, and he had a little white chest, and he looked pretty spunky with a red collar. So yeah, so this is designed to be, I've called this Mindys Christmas. So it's got her black around her head. There's a little bit of brown and white, or white just undyed, there for around her eyes, her collar, her chest, and then a little bit more sort of, you probably can't really see it on the video, but there's a little bit of brown in there, and the black at the end. Now, being that black is quite a strong colour, it did sort of bleed up into the undyed white. There was more white, but being that I steam bath this, there's not as much undyed as what there was when I started. So yeah, so this is, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. Essentially, both of the dogs had bright red collars, and I haven't reskeined it. Still got all the knots in it, all the ties in it, and yeah, they both had red collars. And ideally, I was trying to go for a bright red collar, but it wasn't coming out the colour red that I wanted. But then I remembered, then I still really liked the hot pink cerise colour, and then I remembered Christmas time she used to wear wrap the dog's collars in tinsel, and it ended up staining her white around her mane, around her neck. So yeah, that's Mindys Christmas, and there's the other one as well. So they should knit up really nicely. I think I might have to experiment with this colour and do just a tonal one colour of that colour, because it's really yummy. That real sort of deep, it's like a red, really hot pink, plum. It sort of throws a lot of different colours within itself. So there's that colour. So I was able to name that one, and then I did this one. This is on the MCN, the Merino Cashmere Nylon. I think it is 80, 15 and 5. So 80 Merino, 15 nylon and 5 cashmere. So yeah, this is sort of a real intense dark blue. I wouldn't say it's navy, but it's sort of that real, it's a really nice deep blue, and then it's got a pop of plum brown, and then your browns in there as well. It's kind of that's getting a little bit more true to colour. So yeah, I'm really happy with the way they turned out as well. I'm not sure what is in this yarn that doesn't, what is it, gives that real tonal colourings, that doesn't take the dye up, suck the dye through. I wonder whether it's the cashmere and the nylon, which kind of leads me to think that it might be, being that these are 100% wool, merino, but then they're ethical, so they're not over processed. No, hang on, yes they are. I'm pretty sure they're processed normally, but don't. They're more ethically treated animals. But yeah, the Merino, the 100% Merinos that I've been working with suck up the dye quite well, and then these don't do it as well. Not as well, as much. But the colour it gives is really nice. Yeah, that's getting there. The blue's a little bit more darker. Yeah, so there's those ones. And then, yeah, that one, and Mindys Christmas, and then I did these ones. So, Mindys Christmas was steam dyed, so the excess colour did drip into the water bath, the steam bath, and colour the water. So I added a little bit more colour to it to get the pink, and then I dropped some more speckles on it. So it's really blowing it out. How does it? Looks, yeah, it's really blowing it out. So you can't really see much pink in there, can you? It's got pinks and it's got a little bit of green and black and even a bit of yellow. I think I even put some tan in there as well. Yeah, so my speckling's working at the moment. I'm quite happy. And then it's got a little bit of red. Yeah, I think. Oh, and this one. That's why. And then this one I dyed on the day that I dyed these. So this again, what was this one? This one, what did I do with this one? Now this one was just, that's right. No, that's not right. Or is it right? Yeah, no. This was, I had dye left over from dyeing these ones on a different day, and I thought, well, I'll just use it all up, and I think I added some more colour to it. I think I added some yellow, yeah, because there was leftovers from this one and then leftovers from this one, so I made this one. So this is on the new sock yarn base, and I dye bathed this one. Something like Fairies Garden or something. It's nice. This has been reskeined because, yeah, the skein ended up getting all a bit messy. So I thought, no, I'll just reskein it. And it gives a nice variation. It's prettier once it's been reskeined. And there's a lot more muted in there. And I haven't skeined up the other ball, the other skein that I did yet. Something like Fairies Garden, something springy. I think I might name him. So yeah. So that's all I have to do. I should have seized the day yesterday when we had nice bright sunshine to take photos of these skeins, and that would give me one step closer to opening up this blasted Etsy store so I can sell all of this. And that's probably what's holding me back, is taking the photos, because I know it's going to be a frustrating path to try and capture the colours as accurately as possible. And it is quite time consuming taking all these photos as well. So yeah, but I think I've got a bit to go in there, and I just need to get on with it. And then yesterday with my dyeing, I was really strategically writing down what I was doing so I can recreate these colours. And that's what's scaring me a bit as well, is first attempt to go in and recreate the colours that I've done, which can be fun or can be a nightmare. I'm hoping it will be fun. And yeah, a lot of them are up here, and I don't know whether they will end up being colour repeats. But yeah, I will see how we go. And yeah, I like the creative process of this dyeing. I think I might more go down the path of dye up what I fancy, or yeah, and what other people have requested, but dye to, not so much requested, have asked for or haven't seen for a while sort of thing and are looking for them, rather than dyeing to order. I think that in itself kind of scares me, of the disappointment. And I've heard different stories from quite well reputed indie dyers that things haven't been, when customers have received it, haven't been what they ordered, and the variance from skein to skein, which I know people that buy from indie dyers have come to learn that this skein is not going to be the same as the next colourway that I do of this. For instance, there is always going to be some slight variance, but I still want to keep everybody happy as well. So yeah, that concerns me, but it will be a learning path as well. Now all this yarn is covering all my notes, so I need to make sure that I've covered everything. So yeah, it's still in process, but hey, if there's anything that you've really liked, drop me a line. Anything that you've really liked and want to know prices of or whatever, send me a message, send me a private message on Ravelry. I think a lot of you that, subscribe to the podcast are on Ravelry and are members of the group, which is awesome. Yeah, so have a look. Yeah, if there's anything that tickles your fancy, send me a line and we can arrange for things to happen. Now there was something that just came. Oh, something that I'm going to do as well. I watch the Bakery Bears podcast, and they like to do what's in their sweetie jar. And so I contacted Dan and said, okay, I want to send you something from South Australia, or Australia, in particular South Australia. And he said, yeah, okay, and sort of goes, are you sure? And it's like, yeah, I want to do this. And yeah, so, and being that some confectionery we sell in the shop, sell in our fruit and veg shop. So I thought, well, okay, I can send a few things that's not going to break the bank to purchase, not going to break the bank to post there, and, you know, give him a bit of a tasting plate of South Australian's finest confectionery, or confectionery sweets, and knowing he likes dark chocolate, okay, but unfortunately I couldn't get any lollies. I thought at the men's factory they sold Melba's lollies, but they don't. I could have sworn a few years ago that they did, but no, okay. Anyway, so I got him some dark fruit chocks. As everybody knows, fruit chocks are a South Australian tradition. I got him some Haig's dark chocolate, which is awesome. It's beautiful chocolate that's not, it's nice, clean tasting chocolate. Got him some legendary Johnny's popcorn in the sweet and salty flavour. His wife Kay can't eat chocolate, so I'm hoping she loves popcorn. This is in the sweet and salty flavour. We sell these bush bilbies. They're not the Haig's ones, but they're from Victoria. And what are they called? Australian Bush Friends. And they are 10 cents from each sale goes into conservation of the bilby. So I've put a couple of them in. So maybe Dan and their little daughter, or young daughter, she's not little anymore, young daughter Bryony can have one of those each. And then Kay likes to cook, so I've got a couple of samples of the infamous Berenberg strawberry jam from up at Hundorf, and some Australian honey as well from Berenberg. So yeah, and some teas and cute little Aussie magnet that I bought in the Central Market to send to swap buddies and stuff from overseas. So yeah, and some teas will go in there as well, and a bit of a information. So I should probably post that tomorrow. So that is exciting. I think it was almost 2 weeks ago now that we were having the conversation, so I really need to get onto it and post it. Just a little bit of information, or a bit of comments on some knit-alongs and the Changing Seasons knit-along that I'm hosting for until the end of October. So basically, changing seasons with spring coming and fall coming, or here. Spring's, supposedly here. And fall in the Northern Hemisphere. So with the changing seasons, I'm thinking more lighter weight things, and perhaps even something, thinking about your gift giving, that's the word for it, gift giving knitting, getting that started. No time like the present, and gives you plenty of time to do it. So it's a socks and shawls knit along. So, and yeah, so knit along, crochet along. Even, I suppose you can weave shawls too, so weaving would be fine as well. Anything that you can, anyhow you can make socks and shawls with fibre yarn. So yeah, that's running until the end of October, so started at the 1st of September, so it's running until the 31st of October. Works in progress, so if you already started some socks or a shawl before the 1st of September, you're more than welcome to enter it in there. I've opened up a finished objects thread and a chatter thread in the Ravelry group, in the YarnADelaide Knits Ravelry group, and I've created a hashtag, Changing Seasons KAL, for Instagram, so I'd love to see some pictures on there. That would be awesome. And one of the prizes will be the Charm of Finch's Rainbow Gradient from Circus Tonic Handmade in her Fiesta Fingering 4-ply, which is 100% Australian superwash merino. So yeah, it's a nice array of colours there, and I think that will go in that will be one of the prizes in the finished objects thread. And I'll have prizes. If you'd like to donate a prize, let us know. I'd love to hear from you, and I'd be ever so appreciative if you wanted to donate a prize to my knit-along, or our knit-along. And I even might have a special prize for Instagram as well. So if I see any hashtags, I'll have a look, check out the hashtag that I made. That's Changing Seasons. I'll put something on the screen when I edit this knit along. So yeah, some other knit alongs that I'm joining in. Zena from the Little Yellow Ute is doing a Be Prepared knit along. So starting to think about Christmas and the gift giving and getting yourself organised before it gets chaotic. And that runs until the end of October. And Meg Gatsby from Atelier Yarns, she's got a Ravelry group, and if you watch a few podcasts, I'm sure you've heard her name floating around with all her gorgeous shawl designs. And she's doing a knit along for any of her patterns in her Ravelry group. And I did that test knit for a few podcasts ago, and she gifted me her Minamara shawl pattern, so I'm going to cast that on. And I was going to do it in some of the Circus Tonic Handmade that I bought a couple of months ago, but I'm thinking I might need to do it in the Ren and Ollie yarn that I got last month. That's where I'm leaning to at the moment. And then you got my KAL, and Nina from Give Me a Crown podcast is doing a two coloured knit along using more than one colour in your knitting or crocheting. I think it's crocheting as well, I'm not sure. Yeah, and there's a beanie that I've been going to do, trying some colour work, so yeah, I might have to fish that out, but I want to finish the 2 socks that I've got on my needles at least before I start either of them, and one's almost done, so that will be something to do. That's about it, guys. My battery's about to run out and I need to go to the shop and relieve Justin because he's hurt his back and he's about to go to the physio, so I need to help him out there. You can find me on Instagram as ColarGirl74. Check out the Ravelry group, YarnADelaide Knits Podcast, and yeah, I'm Colargirl on Ravelry as well, and I'm ColarGirl74 on Twitter, where I can create all these hashtags. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe. That always helps. And give me a comment. Good, bad or ugly. Good ones are always good. But yeah. Some constructive criticism I will be quite happy to take on the chin. So yeah, enjoy your week. Hopefully I'll be on time and be able to get back to you in a fortnight. I think I was fairly on time this time around as well. So yeah, enjoy your knitting, guys. Have a great week, and hopefully this weather improves. Cools down for you if you're in the north and warms up for you if you're in the south. Thanks, guys. See ya.